video cassette and select DVD. They'll leave you screaming for more.
Yeah.
Let me take a sip.
Take a sip from my secret potion. Did you like Little Mix? Why am I literally am so delusionally tired? I feel fucking insane.
The reason I laughed so hard is because I loved that song.
Oh,
so
me too.
Much.
Me
it
too.
was such a slay. It was
I was
like,
a Fifth Harmony girl and a Little Mix girl.
That's controversial.
I know. That's because I'm non-binary.
You can be both. You can be in the middle.
You can be brown. You can be. What's that
You
song?
can be violet skies.
What's
you can
that?
be purple. You can be.
Do you think
nurple.
Sharp Family did that?
Oh, 100%
Do you
Sharp
think so?
Family did that.
Should we find?
Should we at them?
Hi.
Hey, girlfriends.
Hey, girlfriends. We're fucking crazy.
We're fucking crazy, but we're free. And we're free to talk about a very specific film. We're here to talk about
I'm not
Hocus
free.
Pocus 2. No.
I'm not free. Send help. I'm not free.
Oh my gosh. Hi, everybody. I'm Chase. This is Beyza. This is Fear Queers. We're here to talk about Hocus Pocus 2. But before we get into our thoughts on this film, is there anything you wanted to open with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on video.
We're on video now.
You probably already knew that, but I'm saying that again because good to know. Yeah. We got our first copyright strike for being gay.
For literally being gay.
For existing. Thanks, YouTube.
YouTube is homophobic.
Love you
Spread
so much.
the word.
Love you so much. So that was fun.
Yeah.
But it's fine now.
It's all better. All better. Beyza
Put a
took care
Band-Aid
of
on it. I put a rainbow Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
So that
But
was
like
fun.
honestly, like kind of like a rite of passage in us starting on YouTube together.
Yeah, and it's been I'm liking it.
I'm liking it too.
It's fun.
No, I think it's fun. It feels much more personal. I feel like I can talk to the girls, the girls and the ghouls. Okay, and I feel like I can talk to you. So I love that.
Yeah.
Also, thank you everyone who like watched the video and like comments on the video because like seeing like it's such an easier way to sort of like also engage with people who listen to the show. So like that means a lot. So thank you.
And I just hope it's fun. And I there's so many opportunities we said in our Halloween ends predictions video, which is coming out next Monday. That will do a little like trailer or not trailer reaction, a little out of the theater reaction or whatever.
Yeah, and we can upload it as a YouTube short.
Yeah,
The mind of a mastermind. Hey,
brains. Yeah. So I think, I've just been enjoying it. I think it's really fun. I think it's slay. I think it serves.
And you know what else slays and serves is we figured out a new tattoo we're going to get together this month. And I think everyone should know about it. I'm so excited. What?
Yes. Well, I didn't even say when I have like a couple things that
oh yes.
we watched. Thank you. That we watched and we last time when we said what we were watching, we didn't say what we do in the shadows.
Oh my God, you're
fully
right. Because
forgot.
because we watched the finality of it all.
Yeah.
Okay, well, okay, great. We
Yeah.
watched it. We loved it. Honestly, one of the best seasons, I think. Actually, no, I will say the best season for me personally.
I'm tied between 3 and 4.
Okay, fair.
But yes, but continue.
But one of the most iconic parts of the season, as so many people know, is Nadja's club. And Nadja in general, and Nadja's doll. And Nadja's doll has always been like one of my favorite characters. And
Same.
Yeah, and same with Beyza. So we decided to get the neon sign of Nadja's club tattooed on us in like neon ink. So
What if we did that like on Halloween? Or is that
cute.
crazy?
It's on a Monday. So there's nothing happening, meaning we have time.
Do you
we
think
can
that's
take off
crazy?
work. No, we should do it.
I
Let's do it
would
on
take the
Halloween.
day off. I don't give a shit.
That sounds fun. No, and also what tattoo artist wouldn't want to do that on
Yeah.
Halloween?
Okay.
Great. So we have a
Thinking
Halloween
thoughts.
tattoo. That sounds great. Okay, great. Love it. That's the new tattoo.
Just updating you.
Yeah, just so you guys know,
Yeah.
we're getting tattoos. Well, and for all the What We Do in the Shadows fans out there, you know what we're talking about. The neon Nadja doll face.
You'll see it when it happens.
We'll make sure to plaster it everywhere. Because if you
Everywhere.
didn't, do you even have the tattoo?
No.
No, you don't.
Oh God, oh my God, this episode's gonna be fucking insane.
This episode is literally going to be so off the fucking rails.
I feel insane, and that reminds me that I had when we were hanging out on Saturday, and we were a little
I was the highest I've been in a year.
Yeah, me too. Not me too, but like, I was high, and I had a thought that now we are on video.
Video.
You know what we could do? OnlyFans, no. We could do.
I'm sorry. I had to fit it in. I had to fit it in.
I hate you because you do it so good, and I like it. Really freaks me the fuck out.
Is that Whitney Houston? I'm so sorry. Oh my god. We'll put a clip on screen for those who don't know the TikTok I'm referencing with one look, but here it is.
I'm sweating.
I know, me too. I'm sorry. What was your point? I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
You said, now that we're on video, something we can do.
Oh, you know what we can do?
Yeah.
We could make Fear Queers VHS.
VHS.
Wouldn't that be so cool?
That'd be so fucking
like,
cool. That's a good
episodes?
thought. And it's very much a high thought.
Yeah,
And I love
totally.
that thought.
Totally.
Yes.
I was like, wait.
Oh my god, wait, we absolutely will
Wouldn't
do that.
that be so fucking
100%.
fun?
What we should do is we should like ball out on like, we should like really like just set up a set. You know what I mean? And really, this is gorgeous, but we should like go all out and like record an episode for VHS. Do you know what I mean? Like specifically curate everything about it. Like
be so
visually,
cool.
content wise, like what we talk about, all for VHS. I love it.
That would be so
Cheers.
fun.
What a good idea, Beyza.
Thank you. I was high.
Thanks. It's the drugs.
Thanks.
That's my brain on drugs.
Literally. And it's for the better.
Honestly, yes, I agree.
At
Not
least.
in your case, but in everyone's case. Or not everyone.
No.
Mine and yours cases.
Yes. Yours is
Worst cases.
right.
Anything else before we get to the meat? Because I know we're clamoring. I have a question for you. A Marvel question before because we also talk Marvel and Stranger Things if you're new here.
Yes.
And some
Others.
Yeah. Are you still watching She-Hulk? I have fallen off.
Me too.
I've totally fallen off, and I blame the writing. And maybe we could do an episode at some point.
I mean, okay.
Because I want to stand so
I know,
hard, but
I
I've
don't-
lost interest.
The last episode I watched was when I don't want to give spoilers.
Yeah.
But there is a lawsuit happening.
Okay, great.
And I'm out. Like, I literally don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Is it still going?
It's still going. We're like, I'm like 2 episodes behind, which is never
I'm like 2 or
happens.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always am behind. But like,
And I'll get to it and I'll like it. But
you
like
know,
the fact that I'm not clamoring for
the
it.
thing, yeah, that's the thing. Like, I didn't want to. And
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened with Moon Knight for me.
Oh, yeah.
And like, not really Miss Marvel. I loved Miss Marvel, but just
Yeah.
like, I think there's too much Marvel.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's
Too much Marvel.
a factor.
But
What?
I'm so ready for Werewolf by Night. Like, that's the Marvel I will take.
That's going to be amazing.
That's what they should be doing is like
Yeah.
those kinds of specials and not like
and maybe
a
not
million
constant TV shows. You're right.
constant TV shows
right.
is just like it's too much. I will not keep up with it. Give me a sexy, 90-minute whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
I can do that.
I agree.
I mean, it's especially like themed, like Halloween, spooky themed like that. I want to talk about that. We should definitely talk about that.
Yes.
That'd be super fun.
Yes.
This is ASMR. Was it?
I just had to ask about She-Hulk because I hadn't done that in a long time. So
no, I know. I would have told you if I was watching,
Yeah.
but I'm not.
Okay,
Sorry.
That's the tea. That's the tea.
That's the tea. I had something completely different to tell you.
No, that's
but
good.
I
We're just
forgot.
bouncing around before we get into this.
Yeah.
this-
Oh, I had a little thing for you.
Okay. What is it?
Trick or Treat 2 is
What?
in development.
Shut up. Shut up.
They just announced it today.
Oh,
I got your reaction right on video.
My God. Are
I
you
know.
serious?
Yeah. Isn't that insane?
Ooh, that makes me so happy.
He announced the director, Michael Dougherty, I think.
So is it the
his name?
same director?
Yeah, so
Thank
he
God.
announced because Trick or Treat is in theaters for Halloween, for
Right. Oh my
October,
God.
and they did this special screening in LA a day or two ago, and he announced it there, but I just didn't see it. So.
I am gooped and gagged.
Isn't that wild?
And I love that it's like the same creative, like at least director.
Yeah, totally.
Because like it's just going to be like kind of like the same vibes, but with like just different characters and different stories.
Totally.
It's like the comic booky aspect of the movie that we love so much. Like I just, ooh.
It's going to be really good. We have to talk about that movie one day because also the like development of it and the production was really like chaotic and kind of
I remember
like
hearing about that.
wild because it never played in theaters.
Right.
It was like a direct to DVD movie.
Yeah.
So yeah,
That's
I think
amazing.
that's so fucking exciting.
Today we celebrate this win.
Yeah,
Is there any
because we have a big
timeline?
loss.
We got a big loss to get into.
Loss.
Is there a timeline on this?
No, I think he said that it's like literally just starting production.
Good.
Like not
Good.
even
Don't
production.
put any pressure
just-
on themselves. That's great.
Yeah.
Good.
So that's
Love
like,
that. That's amazing. Big
yeah,
slide.
I wrote that down because I was like, Chase needs to know that.
Thank you for telling me.
You're very welcome. That's it.
Okay.
Have you been watching anything? Do you want to talk about anything?
No, Andor is amazing. I recommend Star Wars people and non-Star Wars people to watch it. It's one of the most amazing shows I've seen on Disney Plus in general. Like, I just adore it. It's amazing. And I've been playing a lot of Disney Dreamlight Valley.
This I knew.
Yeah, that you know. It's an incredible game, by the way. It's like the perfect blend of Animal Crossing and The Sims. So,
But it's not like the full, like it's not a demo, but it's like
yeah, it's not a beta, but it's like the game's not out. Beta. So that's pretty good.
That was
They kind of
good.
sound like him.
Yeah.
It is not fully out yet, but the game is fine. I mean, it's perfect as it is, and like it's fun to get a head start on it before the game's officially released. You can get some good founders packs, which come with a lot of like downloadable content. And
This is sponsored by Nintendo.
It should. Girl, if I could get that sponsorship, I would.
You'd be
I really
set.
think it's going to be a game that I eventually just like stream regularly
That
on
would be
Twitch.
so
Because it's just like my
cute.
vibe, and like
Oh my
I hate to admit it, but I am a bit of a Disney adult, so
We know.
I can't help it.
I charged my Switch for the first time in 6 months.
In anticipation of starting the game.
No.
For what?
I totally would.
Okay.
I definitely would. I think there was a different game that it's called Night in the Woods, I think.
Cute. Sounds spooky.
Yeah.
Is it a horror
definitely
game?
is. It's not horror, but it's like spooky.
Yeah, got it.
But I want to get back into that like fall. We finally finished Over the Garden Wall, Arabella.
Yay.
Finally watched it for the first time. And I'm just like, whenever I watch it, I'm like, it's time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's definitely, she transitions us.
yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm ready. I'm turning on my Switch. I'm turning on my Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch on? World off. Or whatever it is. That's how I feel.
Absolutely. Okay, I'm excited for you.
Yeah.
And let me know how the Night in the Woods game is.
I will. I think I do want to do the Disney. I think I just need a game before that's
Not that.
will end.
Yes, that has.
Like, I need
That's
a-
fair.
'Cause
we want
Animal
a story.
Animal Crossing? 375 hours.
Oh God.
375.
Beyza. Great. That's great though.
No.
That was,
Don't.
but she got you through a
She
lockdown.
got me through the quarantina.
Yeah.
And then I put her away.
Yeah, she's animal canceled.
Animal canceled. Animal was canceled. I had little cockroaches all over my house.
In the game.
No. Yeah. Yeah. So I need like I'm trying to say I
just pictured you like completely fried just playing this game for
Yeah.
375 hours with cockroaches
There's just
crawling
cockroaches
all over
everywhere.
the floor.
No, that was in our old apartment, thank God.
Oh yeah.
But the yeah, I just need a game that is like there is some like it will end because I can't be like fully in a new world right now.
Fair. That's totally
But
fair.
I do want to do Disney.
Do it. I would recommend
I'll
it.
do it. But I hate Disney right now.
Yeah, we're mad. The Disney we don't want to do is
Hocus Pocus 2. Okay.
yeah.
Shall
so let's get into it.
Oh, wait, before that,
Yeah.
I really want to watch. I watched this great video. Maybe I can link it in the thingy. I watched this great video by Matt Baum. Do you know who that
Nope.
is? He does really good like deep dives into like queer content and history. And he did a video on Interview with a Vampire, like the new show.
Oh, yeah.
And just like the history of the, I guess it's a franchise technically.
Yeah.
And like Anne Rice as like a writer and her life. And it's like a 20-minute video. It's so fucking good, but it made me really want to watch the show.
Nice.
Because I wasn't like, I mean, I wanted to watch it, but I wasn't like
It was
dying to watch
casual,
it.
yeah.
Yeah, but now I'm like,
And it premieres tonight, this week?
I think the first episode's out.
Oh, that's
because
what it
I
is.
saw
Okay.
some, baby, that's porn.
I can
Like,
only imagine
that is
Tumblr right
like-
now. Tumblr is out here
Woo!
making gift sets on gift sets of this show.
I think I saw a GIF on Twitter or something, and I was like,
Oh.
I have to watch it.
Time to tune in.
It's time to tune in. But I think you'll like the video, so I'm going to send it to you.
Please,
But
thank you.
it's and he's a really good. He's a good tuber. And then before we get into Hocus Pocus 2, I wanted to say that I watched. Did you watch Queer for Fear yet?
Not yet.
Okay, there's just the one episode,
Yeah.
but I watched. It's been a long weekend. I watched the first episode of Queer for Fear. And I cried.
I love
like the
that.
first like 10 minutes in, I was just like, I don't know, I got very emotional. And we're gonna like actually talk about it, so I'm not gonna say anything else, but it just kind of formed my opinion. I literally watched it right before I watched Hocus Pocus, which probably like fueled a fire. So I think
baby. Yeah.
I think that is I don't know. I think that's why I'm kind of where I'm at right now. But I loved Queer for Fear first
Yeah.
episode, and we'll cover it once all of it's out because
Yeah.
it's like a weekly thing.
I'm so excited. I'm excited to watch it. I'm
I
going to
think
watch
you're
the first.
gonna love this first episode.
Oh, yeah.
because you love that classical like
Yeah.
gothic kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
it is. I mean, it's like the basic. It's
Yeah.
the beginning and the basics, so it's so fucking good.
I'm excited. I'm going to watch it on the flight to Orlando.
I think that's a really good place to.
Great.
That's a good way to watch it.
Perfect. I'm so happy you loved it.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to talk about something we didn't love. So, Hocus Pocus 2 released on Disney Plus, the long 29 year.
29
year
29?
29. Yeah, so that came out, and it's interesting to see the reception to it, but we're just here to talk. We're not giving like a full critical review. We're just here to talk about the movie, and we're here to let out some steam with it. So
Do the face.
before.
You do it so fucking good. How do you do it like that?
I don't know. I don't
It's
know.
too good.
Thank you.
Your faces are too good.
Okay, so just like to keep it general in the beginning of
Wait,
this
deep breath.
conversation, I know I need to form a calming circle.
Shut the fuck up.
Okay, so just to keep it general, what was the consent? Like, I need a series of sounds. I need a string of words. I need just like a word vomit of where generally what you thought about this film after watching it.
Why are you looking at me like
Oh, I'm watching your mouth. I'm trying to see what the sound is going to
I'm
be.
biting my lip. I'm not making a noise. I'm just
It's a tight-lipped silence.
that's
is that the
it.
reaction?
Yeah, that's literally okay. Okay, so I watched it with my partner who
Heard of her?
I guess. She does not. Okay, we should also preface that you and I are like Hocus Pocus freaks.
fans. And okay, thank you so much for bringing that up because we're like weird. Not we're so weird.
We're
but
like
I mean,
really weird for liking Hocus Pocus.
We just love the movie. It is a
little too much.
A little bit too much, which is an important disclaimer. And another important disclaimer is if you love this movie, slay.
No.
100% slay. And love that movie.
I wish I were you.
Yes, and just like laugh, 100%, and just love it.
Yeah.
And just love it, and like these are just our thoughts on it. And so just want to say that too, because I always like to open that up.
Yes.
Usually, if I remember, to open up a conversation where I'm gonna be pretty critical.
Yeah.
But also let people know that of course there's room to enjoy it and love it and love it.
And Lilas, literally Lilas, like,
Lilas.
Yeah.
What's Lilas?
Love you like a sister. Lilas, love you like a Sanderson sister.
Oh my god. I love that.
You didn't
I've
grow up
never
on
heard
Lilas?
that. No.
You're a little boy. That's why.
Okay, so general thoughts.
Yeah, general thoughts. Well, so I watched this with my partner who does not give a shit about Hocus Pocus, didn't like grow up with it at all.
A healthy grounding partner to watch it with.
Good mind, sound
Healthy.
mind, normal person. And she really liked it. She thought it was funny and cute.
Okay.
There were parts where I really laughed. Like I did genuinely.
There were some funny moments.
And yeah, I really thought there were some good moments. I don't want to sound like I just hated this fucking movie, but I mean I did. But like not because of things that I'll say later. But
yes. I get what you're saying already, where it's a fine movie,
it's
but
fine.
there's a
It's
lot
not
of
Hocus
things
Pocus.
on principle that I hate, and I'm very mad about, and I have a lot of feelings about.
Yeah.
But like, not because it's like just a shitty movie.
No,
It's
there are
like,
good parts of it.
There's
are
things
really,
that work.
Yeah, definitely good things that work. I think there was, and we can talk about the things that work too, because there were things. But I, generally, this is like flop.
Yeah.
Flop. Yeah. But I don't know. I feel bad just saying that because but honestly, my first thought as soon as it ended was this was like a very rushed movie.
Even though they had 29 years to write it.
Literally,
And
they
also
had
a book to base it off of. At what point do you want to get into that?
let's talk about that a little later.
Okay, great. That sounds good.
I have a couple notes. I don't know you have notes. But yeah, my first note was like, literally, if you loved it, fucking slay. Like, I am so happy for you. I think I went into this like with a pretty open mind, and I was, like, I'll just kind of take it, and if it's not great, it's not great. It's not the end of the world. But here we are.
Yeah.
And it's not the end of the world, but I am angry
Yeah.
about some things. And I don't know. I think it is kind of a hard pill to swallow because whenever this isn't just even like a Hocus Pocus issue, it's a sequel issue, especially a sequel that comes out 30 fucking years after the original.
Yeah.
Is that it's not made for you.
Yeah.
It's not made for us.
Yeah.
It's made for a younger generation who I hope will enjoy it the way that we enjoyed the first one. It wasn't made, I feel like it was not made for us with us in mind.
No.
You can have like references to the original and that's like all fine and cute, but it is missing very big points that I do feel like are kind of, I feel like I'm taking this way too seriously. But
I know. Keep going.
Just like, just kind of, it feels a little, and we can emphasize this later, but like just a little bit like a slap in the face.
It does. I mean, it does. It does. It feels like they threw in a couple things like to like appease the legacy fans. And then the rest of it is just kind of like, they don't care.
Yeah. And the other thing with, and the thing with like, nostalgia is just so fucking hard because it's such a personal thing,
and it's very subjective,
and
even
it's
though it feels
subjective,
objective,
and it's hard. But like that's what happens when you make a fucking sequel of one of the biggest Halloween, or not even Halloween, childhood movies,
right,
in the last few decades.
And because there's so much time in between it, like it's like the time in which the first one was made and the time in which this one is made. The style of children's movies has never been more different.
Yeah.
Because back when Hocus Pocus 1 was made, family movies were pretty adult. And there were a lot of adult things in it, and they were darker, and they were a little bit scarier. And these days, that doesn't really happen. You know what I mean?
You're right.
So there's something about that that's just going to be like, there's something about a sequel to Hocus Pocus that's going to be antithetical if they're following, like, if they still want to make it a family kids movie. I'm not saying that to make it an adult movie, but it's like I just had hoped that they would hold on to a little bit of that like tonality that is in, and the tone that's in the first one. Even despite the fact that it would be going against like the current market for like family movies. Does that make sense?
No, it totally makes sense. And I think it's even a little more maddening because I feel like I just don't know what happened for that to happen, for what exactly you just said to happen, because Disney movies, I rewatched Phantom of the Megaplex.
Oh my God, I saw you watch that again. I love that movie.
So fucking good.
Yeah.
And like, I was horrified of that movie as a kid. Like, genuinely, I mean, I saw it when I was like 5, which is like a little young.
Yeah.
But I like just Disney movies and movies in general back in the day were made for kids or family, like you're saying. I don't know what happened. I
don't know why people just started making movies that were like so much kiddier. And I know part of it is that we're getting older. I understand that conceptually.
No, but you're right about the tonality and like the darkness of specifically Disney Halloween movies.
Can I give you an example?
Yeah.
Of like that I think really illuminates this point.
Yeah.
And it's one of my big issues of the movie, because one of my biggest issues of the movie is that things happen that don't matter. Like there are things that like don't like objectively plot wise don't
like
make
nobody
sense.
wants to work these days.
Get your ass up and go to work. No, very much that. So like when you think about Hocus Pocus 1, and this is related to what we were talking about, Hocus Pocus 1, they go perform I Put a Spell on You, and they hypnotize the entire town's parents, which is objectively horrifying as a kid to watch that. In this movie, they hypnotize the villagers to find the mayor, and then they find the mayor, but like they don't need them to find the mayor. Like there's no point to it.
I love that you call them villagers.
Well, that's what they call them. But yeah, there's no point to that entire thing. Like just cut. I'm so sorry. I'm gay as fuck, and I love all 3 of them, and I want musical numbers. But like there was a purpose to the first musical number in the first movie. There was no purpose. There was no narrative function of the musical number in the sequel. On top of that, we're also dealing with, again, an issue of tone where it's like what was like the reason that was so iconic was because it's like a very fun, happy musical light number in Hocus Pocus 1, grounded by a horrifying reality that these parents are just going to dance forever and just forget about their kids and not be able to go home and help the kids. Like scary. But here they don't do anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Like I think that kind of illuminates again what we're talking about with like, it seems nobody wants to scare kids these days.
Nobody wants to scare little kids these days. It is very like...
It's bullshit.
It's really...
I'm so sorry.
No, it is weird because then last... Was it last night or the night before? Then we rewatched
You watched
one.
Hocus Pocus, yeah.
And Arabella, who like was like, oh, I really liked the second one after we watched it because she hadn't seen the first one. I don't even know how long.
Yeah, long.
I don't know. She probably saw it one time before that.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, this is like 10 times better. Yeah. Like crazy how much
like
better
literally they get trapped in the kiln and they get set on fire. It's like where's the risk in this film? There's
hanged.
They're literally. I'm. I will say I'm happy they put in the flashbacks of like their feet dangling.
Yeah.
Like little things like that. Where I'm like, okay, like because that gave me hope in the beginning because I was like, oh, we're still showing the scary. Yeah. You know what I mean? But no, they kept the scary in the old one. They didn't bring any scary in this one.
Oh,
like God. And it doesn't have to be scary in terms of like we don't have to set people on fire if censorship doesn't allow it and things are different these days. But there's something in like a narrative choice that is objectively scary, meaning like it was a rated G choice to have parents dance so they can't go save their kids. But the subtext of that is horrific and is scary and it's unnerving.
Yeah, I think genuinely, you know what it is, which makes me really upset is as time has gone on, we trust kids less and less to like be humans.
And kids are little adults and adults are little kids.
Yes.
I mean, it's all the same. We're just sacks of flesh.
It's like just so it makes me so angry because like kids are just so like receptive and smart and like and actually know what's going on and like have value in society and and like adults just don't treat them that way.
I know.
And I think it shows in the media that they then are given. Because, you know, you can like throw a fucking kid into a room with an iPad and like play them Cocomelon and it doesn't fucking matter because you're like, oh, I can get rid of them. I'm like, why'd you have a kid?
Yeah.
Don't show your kids Hocus Pocus too. I'm just kidding.
Well,
I mean,
I won't.
I don't know. But yeah, I agree with you. I think, I don't know. I feel like I could say a billion different things. How do you feel about because I knew the one thing that when I was watching, I was like, Chase is not gonna be happy, was the backstory of the girls when they're younger. Mm-hmm. I did kind of live for young Winifred. She was
great.
Slayed.
She really slayed.
She understood the assignment.
She really did. I did not like it. Mm-hmm. I don't like. Okay, this is gonna be a take. I think it was stupid. I think it was a joke. I think it was stupid. Like, I just think it was all stupid and like objectively irrelevant, wasted time that they should have used to set up other things in the movie. Bad.
Can I ask?
Yes.
What was the point
of the flashback?
Yeah.
The point of the flashback is to
sympathy?
introduce. No, it's to do two things. It's to introduce the spell that she was not supposed to do. Which
bullshit.
You wasted 20.
When I was watching Hocus Pocus 1, rewatching it, I was like, you think Winifred fucking Sanderson wouldn't have used that spell in the first fucking book?
Oh, that's a really good point, B. That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
That drove me fucking crazy.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's a really good point. But no, the purpose of the flashback was to show that like there's a spell she shouldn't use, and it was also supposed to highlight the importance of a coven and how close the sisters are. That was the point, right? To me,
I already knew that, but
exactly. And to me, the ending was actually pretty satisfactory in terms of just sort of like the arc of the sisters and like Winifred.
Did tear.
I cried. I did cry. But honestly, I think that moment would have even had a stronger emotional impact if we didn't have the flashback, because then I would have been even more surprised at how much Winnie does love her sisters. Mm-hmm. But I expected that because of the flashback, and I get it. It's like, I get it, but I'm just saying the two reasons why I think that prologue was there is two reasons we didn't need it. Like, we didn't need it. Like,
we did not need the witch.
Oh,
who never came back.
I hated.
She was hot. She was real hot.
She was gorgeous. I hated her. Mm-hmm. I hated this whole thing. I just didn't like it.
It just felt lazy.
You're right. You're right.
Sorry.
It didn't even feel lazy. I think it is lazy.
It just like, I don't want to just shit on it, but it really like, it felt like you had 30 years to come up with a storyline to, I don't know, involve the original creators and director.
I can't believe Kenny Ortega. Don't get me started.
Oh, I'll start. And just, you did that.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like,
it's
and
money
also,
grab.
Oh my God. Oh my God. It's
Sorry.
like, it really is. And like, the thing about that flashback, again, it's like, I don't mind the spell thing. I don't mind that. But like, that could have just been like dropped in one. Don't show us a 20-minute scene to explain one spell. Mm-hmm. That could have just been explained like that. Do you know what I mean? Especially with the character of Gilbert, who's like such an expert and such a pro, which I have a lot of issues with that character. Yeah. I love the concept of it. Okay. One thing I want to say about this movie in general thoughts, can you believe we're still only in general thoughts? One thing I love about this movie in general is like the premise does kind of work for me. I don't mind, like, I don't hate the premise of like, man watched everything happen in Hocus Pocus 1, became obsessed with like the witches and kind of opened a shop in dedication of them and like wanted to bring them back. But first of all, they didn't let him be evil, which is a classic Disney thing, Yeah. It's like what he was doing was objectively messed up. And what's so crazy is like, he was just like funny. He was just quirky and funny, and he like helped them have ultimate power. And then like was like, as he was collecting the recipe, was like, oh well, I'm just gonna kill him, and I don't want them to do that. And I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Like, doing, like, I don't understand. Like, there must have been respectively one person working on this script.
No,
Because there is
100.
no way a room full of writers,
Yeah.
at least writers who have written before,
Yeah.
would be able to be like, that makes sense.
They were babies. They were
They
just
were-
like infants.
Yeah, and again,
Crayons.
children are valid, but like
Not like
this
that.
was
They shouldn't be making
not to write
movies.
feature films.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I like the premise of that. I like the premise of them being brought back to life because there was like a fanatic who really loved them. Like that's like creepy and cool and fun.
It could have been so good.
It could have been lit. Do you know what I mean? Like when I looked at the skeleton of the story, I'm like, this works. Everything with those two girls, I loved. I loved the young girls.
They're
I thought
so
they were
cute.
amazing at acting, and I liked their beats. I liked their scenes. I liked kind of the journey they were going on. I was here for that shitty blue glow effect on her hand. That I didn't care about as much. And I liked the story. So that's what I mean is like the story I think works. It was so poorly written and so poorly edited, and it just
You know
makes
what
me
would
want to
have
scream.
slayed?
What?
If he was helping the girls the entire time, and then at the end they found out it was him who made
Charged
them,
the candle.
Yeah, and he
100%.
was actually evil
And that
after
he was like a fanatic. Like he
Yeah.
was like, I wanted like he should have just had like more of a cult energy to him, where he's like obsessed with these
They
people.
should have like the two girls should have just like went into the back room of the store and found like crazy
100% Beyza,
Yeah.
because literally it's so crazy. There were all these jokes about like throughout the movie about like the Sanderson sisters seeing people dressed up like them, and they're like, oh my god, those are like our loyal like followers, and they like, love
Yeah,
us and they're obsessed
yeah.
with us. But what a gag! Like the one person who should be that wasn't that. Do you know what I
was-
mean?
yeah.
Isn't that insane?
Yeah.
Doesn't that just make you want to fucking scream?
Oh, more makes me want to scream too.
This movie, like it's so honestly, I thought about it, and the last thing I'll say, I thought it not forever, but
I'm silencing you.
I thought during the movie, like I was like, my face during the whole movie was that.
Yes. No, it was
Like the whole movie, I was.
it was
And basically, I thought to myself, I was like, you know what? Maybe my sole purpose on this earth is to edit this movie and insert
Make
new
a fan
scenes
cam.
and make a fan edit of this film, and maybe 100 people will watch it. But maybe that's
You
what
can
I'm
post
here
it
to
on the
do.
Fear Queers
Oh,
YouTube
thanks so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, Beyza. Anyway,
at least 10 people will watch it.
like and like if that doesn't scream Chase is thinking too much about this movie, I don't know what does. So like
Okay,
again,
here's-
take all of our
no.
edits for the credit.
But it is
What?
okay. Here, it is valid because when a thing we grew up on and loved so much and like saw ourselves in is so heavily commercialized and like turned into a joke, it like, especially as queer people, feels like an attack.
Yes.
Which I obviously is not a personal attack,
Right.
but it feels like it because you're so invested in a story or like something is so important to you. So I just
Yeah.
like when your favorite thing is you feel ruined, you feel sad about it.
Yeah,
it's
that's
okay.
true. Thank you. I appreciate that. And along that note, I actually told Blake as soon as, because he didn't watch it with me, he was sleeping, and I told him afterwards, I was like, you know what? I am finally free. I feel like that TikTok audio. I was like, I have been freed, and I feel like what is it?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's
but I know
like
you're-
finally I have been freed from the curse. Like
Yes.
that is how I feel, because I feel like the zeitgeist has all, like the cultural impact of this movie has led up to this sequel, and it's always like the hype of the movies are like of Hocus Pocus has always kind of bothered me and irritated me, and it's all led to this sequel. And because it was so shitty to me, I actually feel completely liberated from even associating myself with Hocus Pocus. Now I can just go watch Hocus Pocus 1 and like love it
And live,
and be
yeah.
quiet and
Yeah.
love it and love the first movie, because the world and culture can have the sequel, can have the shitty merch, can have all that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like kind of a wild take, but I feel free. I feel free because of how bad
I think
it was.
and if that's how you like, I think that is the healthiest way to, like, we're gonna vent right now. We're obviously venting, and posting it on the internet. For
I hope
anyone
one
to-
person watching gets the amount of energy we have behind this.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just hope one person is like, I get it, because I do feel like you and I are the only
get
ones
it, girl.
who care this much, because everyone is like, yeah, it was like shitty, but it didn't need to be good. And I'm like, I can't take
Respectfully
that.
disagree.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, keep going.
No, I just think it's funny that we're pretty much always on the same page.
Mm-hmm.
But I there's just so many things I could say. Can I say another big reason why I didn't like it? And then can I say one thing that I did like?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Which?
Well, I think we should say things that we did like
right now
for a breath, and then you get into one thing you didn't like.
Okay.
Remember?
Let me look deep in my notes about what I like.
Let me scour for the 1 or 2 bullet points.
I do think while it was a little too long, I loved the scene in the Walgreens was funny. It was really funny.
It was really funny.
And you know why? I thought I would have hated.
It was a little too long, dude. That's very specific, but yeah, it was like a little bit too long. I agree.
It was a little too long, and the lighting was a little too scary.
It was a little too scary.
But I liked it, and I didn't think I was going to. Okay, another thing that I have an issue with in sequels and generally in different time periods is like technology. Yeah. But I didn't have an issue with it at all in this movie.
I agree.
Not even the Roombas or whatever.
I loved.
You know why? Because in Hocus Pocus, Mary uses a fucking vacuum.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Instead of a broom.
And it's
that's
like
why
camp,
I'm like,
and it's
you're
stupid,
just
and it's
building.
fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're just building upon. Like, at least it was in the original movie.
Yes,
that
100%.
Technology.
And also, the Roombas were originally one of those things that I was like, what narrative function does this fucking serve? Mm-hmm. Until it broke the salt circle.
Yeah, that's
And then I was like, these things are genius. These things are so good. Like, this is something that makes sense. Whereas, like, a whole character doesn't make sense.
No, that was super smart.
Yeah, I
thought that was great. I was just like, oh no.
I know. And then they did the thing where I love like the parallel between the first and the second, where the kids like think they bested them. They're like, oh, we lit them on fire, we're good, but they don't watch to see what happens. Totally. You know what I mean? I love that. Wait, so what was the good thing you were gonna say? The technology, was that it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I loved it.
No, I mean that, but there was another thing.
I have one. Oh, go.
No.
Okay. Well, one thing that made me like laugh very, very hard was Winifred. What are their names? I only know them as Kathy, Sarah, and yeah. Okay, Mary is Kathy.
Yes.
Okay.
Sarah, you're calling Kathy.
And Sarah is Sarah.
Sarah.
Okay, Sarah. You know.
Yeah, I'm Sarah. She's watching. Friend of the show.
Kathy, what's her name?
Kathy and
Jimmy.
We have to put up your picture.
We will not put up this picture. I met her at Comic-Con. We might put up the picture.
It's so cute.
Only in video. We'll get people to watch the video.
It's so cute.
Basically, when Mary looked at the other Mary on stage and she was like, oh, we're foxy. Like, she's like, is this what I look like? I look kind of good.
It was cute.
That was so funny. Like, there were certain things that the sisters would do that were so them.
But
like,
here's the issue.
Yeah.
Those 3 women carried this fucking movie.
On their backs. Like,
and they
chiropractor appointments for the 3 of them.
And they better have been compensated highly. Because I know the whole budget went to them. Because this movie looked like shit.
I know, but I loved the wood set.
The what?
I love the wood set. I hated Billy's head on the cauldron. Billy's head looked bad. It did give into the woods a little bit.
Not in a good way.
I know. I agree, though. I agree. It was a little weird, but I kind of like, there are certain elements that like I could like, again, I'm not out here asking for like a perfect film.
No.
I just like want things to make sense. You know what I mean? Like, but one other thing that really worked for me too is the character development of Book Slade. And then like the second she was looking for Book and there's a little drip of sweat was so fucking funny. Like it was so really funny.
And it was just cute.
It was cute, exactly. And then when there was like the emotional arc, I literally was like, is Book gonna start crying? Like Book would cry, right? And then he did. His little tear. I literally like never thought I would love Book as much as I did. And I love that they leaned into that relationship. It was a very happy surprise in this movie.
Well, because it was kind of like,
what a nice thing for me to say. I just said something positive, everybody.
And it kind of mirrored for me Billy, like in Hocus Pocus, like actually being good and like just having like an arc.
Yeah.
Billy was there.
Can we talk about the way that scene started? It like literally just cut to Gilbert like in the cemetery, and then he like came out of the ground, and then he just like started screaming and running.
Yeah,
it was like
Yeah, it was weird.
It was so oddly paced.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind those things happening, but the pacing of it and the way it was shot, it was like it was just so, it was so
Yeah.
weird.
And you're
It
a
was
huge
weird.
like Sanderson sister fan, and you're scared of Billy.
Like, none of it makes sense.
and you're not scared of them.
And also, you wanted to bring back 3 sociopathic, murderous witches.
Yeah.
And I
mean, me, but yeah.
no part of his character made sense.
No,
and
I agree.
loved him up until I realized that I loved him up until that scene when he like gets Billy, but I loved him until I realized that he like wanted to bring them back and wanted to help them make this potion because he was being blackmailed, but then had a plan to kill them, but also was still helping them make the potion. That's stupid.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I know.
Bad.
Well,
Bad.
his life was threatened.
No, but that's fine. I don't mind.
That's fine.
No. I don't mind him. Like, I get that his life is threatened, so he has to make the thing. Mm-hmm. But like, structurally, it's just unexciting to have someone like do that and then also be like, but I'm also gonna find a way to kill. Kill them.
No, it's messy.
Like, it was messy. It was so
I agree.
messy.
That's why I think it was
a flop.
lazy.
An L. L for lazy and our loss.
Yeah, but there was another thing that I liked.
Tell me, I love positivity.
It was right in the beginning. I also had an edible, so I was like a little like loosey goosey. I was
Good.
like, I literally was like, I need to have an edible because I'm gonna have a panic attack if it's bad, and I want to have like a little something just to like have
Take the
fun
edge
with
off.
it.
Absolutely.
I do think it helped a little bit, but then I was very critical at the same time. I'm very critical when I'm high.
Yeah, me too.
And I know. And and there was this one. I can't even remember what was actually happening, but it was kind of in the beginning, and maybe they were running into the Walgreens. I think that's what it was. They were running to the Walgreens, and I always have captions on because something's wrong with me, and the caption was, and I didn't even really hear it when it happened, but the caption was "Mary farts."
Oh my God,
and
yes.
I lost
It was
my
so
mind.
funny. It was so funny.
Lost my mind because she was like burping
And you just
in the
heard,
first.
and then you just heard her go, like,
Yeah.
and it lasted half a second,
Slay.
and it was right before they
It
cut the scene. It was so
was
funny.
like that was like my favorite part of the movie.
I agree. It
Literally,
was
her
very
farting was
good.
my favorite part of the movie. It was so cute. I loved her
I also
so much.
love that they thought the mask was like a baby's
Yes.
face, and like they were like eating a
it.
baby's face.
Yeah.
Again, like letting them. That was dark.
weird.
That was dark.
Yeah.
Like that was. We love
Totally.
that. One thing that like was like I think a big red flag in the beginning, besides the reverend of this Puritan town
being Tony Hale.
being a Tony Hale, being a joke of an actor,
comedian.
a comedian.
Yeah.
Like he's not a joke of an actor. He's very talented. And I love him.
He's really funny.
But like he's
Too
like
funny.
a jokester. Like it's like it didn't work. I get that this movie is like camp, but like the reason this choice was not camp was because you can't have like a comedian like that playing opposite these comedic kids. Like I wanted to feel the wrath of that town sitting on their shoulders. Do you know what I mean? And radicalizing them.
And I wanted them to take it a little more seriously.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
Also, when you have like 3 kids, Winnie was great, but I hate to bring this up, but like I think, and I'm not criticizing children's acting. I'm criticizing the choice to have children perform as these characters. The choice of like the creative team to have this happen. What happens is you have kids who watch this movie that are playing caricatures of these characters.
Yeah.
And it's just not going to work. Do you know what I mean? It's just not going to work. It's
Yeah.
not going to work.
Yeah, and it's
not gonna work.
only Winnie really stood out.
Exactly. And I'm not saying anything about the kids acting. I'm just
No.
saying like it's
not their fault. It was written that way.
Yeah, it was a huge risk to take, and to me it fell short, and so they just might as well not taking the risk because it's just none of it made sense. But the first red flag was actually the way they came back from the dead. Do you know how they came back? Did you see when it blacked out?
They lit the candle.
Yeah, and then what happened? How did they come back from the dead? Right. This is what happened. They lit the candle. The ground split open. Love that. We're going strong. Then there's a blackout
Why?
in the world.
Why?
In the earth.
Why?
The earth just goes black, which is insane. It is so fucking lazy. And they're like the creative team really was like, okay, we're just gonna have to go pitch black.
Everything's gonna go dark.
Yeah, and then like it's gonna like there's gonna be lightning and it's gonna go black again. There's gonna be lightning. There's gonna be black again. And then when the lights come back on, the Sanderson sisters are just gonna be there.
Yeah.
And sing like 10 seconds of a musical number. That was bad.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah.
And when you think about one of the most iconic parts of Hocus Pocus 1, it's the way that the green under the ground, it's splitting the floorboards, and then the door falls down and they're standing there. Mm-hmm. They didn't, like, they and that made sense.
Yeah.
What doesn't make sense is what happened. And it was so bad. Well, I don't know.
And the fact that it was just...
The kids literally said, why are they singing? They're like, who are they singing to? And then they popped out of nowhere and they said, we're singing to you. That is so dumb. That is so dumb. Is that not dumb, Beyza? Like, is that not dumb? Am I insane?
No, I think it's dumb. I think, again, it's hard when you have a 27-year-old brain.
Yeah.
When you have to take everything literally.
But what's annoying is, like, it's not just nostalgia that's, like, I'm not, like, looking at, like, the old one as, like, and I know you're not saying that, but I'm not, like, looking at the original in, like, rose-colored glasses. Like, the way they come back...
Maybe a little bit.
Well, but the way they come back, it just makes more sense in the first one.
I agree.
And, like, this one, it's just, like, I don't understand how does the moon go out? Does the moon go out?
I have a million other things to say.
I love that they brought back the headlights and the sunrise thing.
Yeah, that's lame.
I love that when the garage door started coming up, they thought it was the sun rising
Yes.
again. Like, love that.
That was good. Yeah, there were little moments like that
Little
that were
callbacks
really
that
good.
worked. I love the flying shots and how tacky they looked.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
I love
Really
to see
great.
the Roombas in the moonlight.
Love Roombas in the Moonlight. That's the name
Oh
of
my
our...
God, Lana Del Rey, a new song.
Oh. I hate that you said that. I hate that you said that.
That's how it starts.
Roombas
in the moonlight. Okay, another things I hated.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, sound off. We're at 50 minutes, by the way.
Oh God. Was it Halloween? Just asking.
Beyza, you ask a very important question.
Was it also her birthday? What?
I think it was supposed
Time
to be
was
her
it?
birthday is on Halloween. She's a Halloween birthday.
They said
But-
it one time.
Yeah, it was. I literally like can't handle the fact that like when I look at the way the first movie was set up, it's really eerie. It's very quiet. It's just kind of like it's like throughout the first like act of the movie, it's like they're just in school and the teacher's like really like weird and kooky
They're
and they're like
dressed in
and they're dressed in
character.
character and it's just kind of like it's just like and like you just it's very uncomfortable beginning because like no one's happy and it's just like there's a lot of dissonance in it. You know what I mean? People are getting bullied.
And this is the thing with older movies that I love and appreciate, and I brought this up, is like they take their time with things and like scene setting and like
Yes.
like that's in the Hocus Pocus one when Max is just riding his bike through the
Graveyard.
like
Yep.
yeah, graveyard through the neighborhood, and there's like leaves everywhere, and there's that tells me it's Halloween. That tells me it's Halloween.
100%. It was atmospheric. The first movie is atmosphere. Second
Yes.
movie is
But that's just like a thing with all movies. Not all movies, I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But like most movies nowadays are so like, let's get to the story.
especially children who like everyone like I mean look at like
no
social
attention
media and
span.
everything. Yeah, it's like you
Yeah.
just want it to be short and quick.
Yeah,
And go.
and that it loses so much charm. So it's not even Hocus Pocus's fault. It's just like.
But
that-
don't you wish that they wouldn't have compromised the integrity of the world of Hocus Pocus to bend towards trends?
Yeah.
I really wish the legacy of Hocus
An
Pocus is more
anti-trendy-
important.
yeah.
Yes, I wish the legacy was more important to those making the movie than
Yeah.
matching the trend. Because guess what? When that trend's out, this movie will be even worse.
That's why it's.
That's the fucking gag of it.
Well-
the first one wasn't made towards a trend, and that's why it lasts longer.
Yeah.
It was
Of
insane.
course, that's like everything. I think that's so true, and that's a big reason I don't know if I will ever watch this movie again. Like
I will probably make a drinking game out of it.
Oh, that would be fun.
That's
that
how
I
we
would
do it.
do. But like, for me, there is no rewatchability factor because the biggest thing is like there's not like a lick of Halloween in this movie to me.
There is not a lick.
Not a damn lick.
Not a lick.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. There is more. Okay. Do you have
Yeah.
more things to say before I talk about the gay stuff?
No, I think we should get into the gay stuff.
Okay. I don't know where to start.
There's a book. There's a book. It was a Target exclusive. I'm like,
Which I didn't even fucking know until
Yeah.
like a week ago.
I didn't know either.
I did not know there was a Hocus Pocus 2 book.
And a novelization of the first film.
Yes. And there is a novelization of the first film, which is like literally what a novelization is, just true to story.
Right.
And then they have the second book of Max and Allison's kid. I forget the kid's name. I didn't read it.
Oh, I know it. It's Poppy.
Poppy. One day you're gonna catch your murder on video.
That'll be the VHS. That's the direct to VHS.
It's literally Blair Witch Project.
A found footage episode of Fear Queers.
We're losing it. We're losing it. We gotta keep going.
Yeah.
And in the book,
They have a child named Poppy.
a child.
A child.
And Poppy is an LGBT,
She's an LGBT, specifically an L.
specifically a big ol' L, and has a relationship in the book.
A girlfriend.
This is all information from Peter Mon, if you're
Peter
watching.
Mon. Hi, Peter.
Hi, Peter. We're big Peter Mon fans
Peter Mon.
over here. And I'll link the video because actually his video was so
It was great.
good.
Peter Mon had a really great, like, honest rant. It's also like a much more positive rant than ours. It's just like a very practical
and just
frustration.
concise and like good. And like I honestly wanted more.
Yeah, Peter, make another video, please.
Yes, please. Or don't. Sorry. And and he explained, this is after I watched it and I just was like kind of sitting with it and I was like, okay, now this is where I get angry. But basically in the book, Poppy is in a romantic relationship with a girl, and basically like the same thing happens. They have like a meet cute and like Max and Allison. Yeah. And they, go through this Hocus Pocus mystery extravaganza together.
Yeah.
Now, we did not get that in this movie. No. I wonder why.
No.
Why make a novelization with gays in it if you're not going to put it in the movie?
Do we know what year this book came out?
2019.
That's insane.
I'm going to look it up.
That makes it 10 times worse. Much worse.
I'm going to look it up just to be sure.
The fact that the book came out as recent as what year? I don't know. It might be hard to find.
I'm sorry, 2018.
Okay, but no. Okay, a book. So people have been talking about the sequel for a long time. The book was written as a sequel. So the movie started probably going into production around 2020, right?
I would hope earlier and then like pandemic, but I don't know.
Yeah, but like the point is this is way too close for them not to know they are objectively throwing out the novelization, which first of all, they have it's every right to choose to do that, whatever like that. And there was like decent representation, at least in extras, I guess, for this film, but like it is insane because Disney is objectively homophobic, and especially when it comes to like media, like Star Wars has a big issue, I think, where it's like, I think Star Wars has a easy time putting representation in terms of queerness into books, but translating that to screen,
to the thing that actually people
consume.
Yes,
exactly.
As like a huge Hocus Pocus fan, I didn't even fucking know there was a book.
I know.
Because it was
and you're a reader too.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm going to read the book. I'm reading the book.
I'm going to read it too.
I'm going to read the book.
I'm going to get it from the library because I don't want to pay Disney.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And it was like a Target exclusive. You couldn't get it. I mean, maybe now it's different, but when it came out, it was only in Target, which is fucking weird. Anyway, money. Hi. And yeah, when I found that out, I genuinely just felt a little heartbroken.
There's a sadness to it.
Because that like would have been so much more meaningful and would have seen us. This movie is for queer people. Sorry, like
for people created by queer people,
queerated by queer people.
Queerated. I love that. Yeah, and features 3 incredible like queer icons
and
in and out of character
who are based on drag queens.
100%.
And like we didn't even have the opportunity. Like it was a costume contest. It wasn't even like a drag performance. It was like men in wigs.
In my head, I expected that scene. I expected the drag queens to have lines. They don't have lines.
I think Ginger Minch had a line.
Yeah, but it was like an exclamatory. It was just like "Go off, sis!" Like it was just that, and it's so crazy to me because I thought there was going to be a moment. I thought maybe even they performed together for a second. I thought it was just going to be a whole freaking thing.
Yeah,
and it's so crazy to me that like it was such a crumb. Don't even put. I'm sorry. Don't even put drag queens in the fucking movie.
I said the same thing. Don't do it because it honestly is kind of like offensive to me to like just kind of throw something in there and like then you reap the benefits of saying that you did this one thing
and
like,
that there's like these famous drag queens in it, and so like that's good promotion too.
Yeah, and then
especially after cutting that part out of the book. Sorry.
Yes, I mean that is really. I mean, when I saw that, and then there was like a moment of like you look into this queer couple's these two men are a couple and they're sitting on a couch watching the original. I think that's what it was.
They're watching like, but also confused. But yeah,
confusing
because like how could a town live through? I hate this movie. Beyza, I really like, I could cry. Like, I just don't know why they chose things that don't make sense. Like, I love that there's two gays just sitting and watching Hocus Pocus, but like,
it was cute.
How are they watching Hocus Pocus? How is there a movie made about a year in which the town knowingly lived through?
Mm-hmm. And no one cares that they're back. Okay, I
hate it so much.
I don't know. When I see things like that, my immediate reaction is like, oh, there's gays.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, that's so like cool. Which like I do want to like embrace that and be like, that is cool.
It is cool.
Like,
it is cool.
It does mean something, but at the same time, it's not everything.
Right. A step is a step, but it's not. Yeah.
It's not a leap.
But it's not a leap, is it?
It's not a leap. But especially
it's time they do a leaper.
Oh God. Too gay to function. They took Mean Girls off Netflix today on October 3rd.
Oh my God. They did that for press. They did that for the press, Netflix.
Totally. But anyway, yeah. Okay. So I saw when I was watching and those things happened, I was like, okay, slay. But then I found out the book thing, and now my complete perception has changed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, you actually like suck for that.
Yeah.
Like that is, it's just like the way that first of all, like our IP, our Hocus Pocus has been so stupidly commercialized and capitalized off of. And now because they want to continue doing it, then the gays are no queer main character.
Yeah.
No. And I don't know. I don't know if having like Kenny Ortega directing it again would have made a difference. I don't know.
It would. I think it absolutely would have. I think that's part of the reason why they didn't want to bring him back. I think they didn't want to pay for him because all the money went to the girls, and I think they didn't want to pay him. Maybe he didn't have any interest in it, but he also would have. He would have pushed it.
Yeah.
He would have pushed it.
Yeah. So I think that really like kind of which I'm glad like I know that, because I think I was able to like kind of solidify why I was feeling weird about it after we had finished watching it, and kind of just put the nail in the coffin. And yeah, I don't know. It's just hard when things you love don't love you back.
Yeah, which is a very queer thing.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I don't know. I mean, it sounds stupid, but that's how I felt about this movie.
No, that's not stupid. I think that's incredibly valid, especially just considering the fact that, like, they took a story that was written maybe a year before they started writing this movie, and they threw all the queerness out the window. And then even when they tried to put queerness in this movie, it was for scenes that lasted half a second, or the drag queens were on the stage with a million other people and didn't have any lines. And
the fact that the drag queens were on stage and then next to literally just men in wigs.
Yeah.
Is like, or like in costume.
Yeah.
Like it does kind of like, I don't know, maybe I'm reaching, but it kind of like.
I get what you're saying. I just think you can read it. You could read it like other ways too, where it's like, oh, the drag queens are sharing a stage with the family, which is cool because a lot of times people want to separate drag queens from like kids and from families. So, like that was cool.
Yeah, totally.
But I get what you're saying. I mean, it's all just shitty, and we shouldn't have to consign ourselves just because of our identity.
Yeah. And that's kind of just how it feels. And I think I don't know. I just felt kind of disappointed, especially by a movie that is so queer. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, I had just watched Queer for Fear before that, and I was just kind of like in my feelings. I was like,
to go from that to that. Oof.
Yeah, I was like, don't get me started. Yeah. And then it ended.
Oh yeah.
And there's post-credit scenes.
And you know what? I gotta say, I liked. Oh my God, the one thing that I like loved about the movie was sort of the emotional journey at the end. I cried, but like
that was cute.
But it didn't even last I mean, it lasted a second. It's
Yeah.
like the one part of the movie that like should have been milked out a little bit longer is just like was breezed over, and I'm like, oh. And I know that's
just
like
having-
that's so subjective.
Having
but,
Winnie like sit in it for a minute.
that's what I
longer.
mean. And that, again, that kind of, in my opinion, goes back to the tone difference between movies made then versus now for kids. Because I think they don't want people to be too sad for too long in this movie. So they're going to have Winnie just be like, oh, yes, I love them. Oh, blah, 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 but oh my God. And it goes like so immediate. While I'm like actually crying because I give a fuck about these characters too much. But it's like,
Same.
it was frustrating, but that part was good. Like the ending was good. I think those the three young girls were so well written, so well performed, well costumed, and their stories were written really well. I like the way those three girls kind of were introduced, and I like the journey they went on. It was all the flow was really good with them, and the way they came back together, all of that really, really worked. Even the dummy boyfriend who was just like cringy at times because it's a kids movie, fine.
No, yeah.
Totally fine. It's when things objectively don't make sense in story that I get a little bit more frustrated.
Yeah, because writers are like, they're kids. They don't give a shit.
That's insane. Like kids do give a shit, and the reason why kids like us kept watching Hocus Pocus is because it was well written.
Yeah,
PS.
totally. No, really, it really is such a good story.
The way, like, peace and love to everyone who worked on that movie. I'm sure you worked really hard.
Seems like nobody wants to work these days.
I wasn't being sarcastic. I was trying to be genuine. I couldn't remember the word genuine. I was trying to be genuine.
Yeah, that thing.
Get your ass up and
go to
write
work.
a movie that makes sense. I love it when a movie just feels like a movie.
Shut the fuck up. Like, please. There's only so much I can take.
I know. That was a joke for the girlies who are still watching.
Nobody.
No, I swear to God.
Two gay bitches.
The way that people are just going to be like,
Shut the
yeah, they
fuck
care a little
up.
too much. I'm gonna have to log off.
Yeah, totally.
But you know what?
Valid.
But you know what?
This is our ranting circle. Not calming.
No.
Ranting. And so they set up basically at the end credit that there may be an HP3 because there's a second black candle.
Maybe they'll bring back Max and Allison for that. But they don't have to cast the same actors. They should just bring back. But you know what's such a gag?
Stop.
Now, because of this convoluted world they built in Hocus Pocus 2,
They like don't exist.
They don't exist. They
Where
don't
are they?
exist. They exist in a movie that gay people are watching about a town in which the other people. Maybe that's why the gays don't go out on Halloween. Maybe they just stay in. They watch Hocus Pocus 1
because of Halloween Kills. The gays don't go out.
Halloween. You know what? Halloween is ending. Halloween ends with Hocus Pocus 2.
Halloween ended with Hocus Pocus 2.
I hate it.
That
I
is
hate
pretty.
it. I hate
It's
it.
okay. Ow. It's okay. That is.
Fucked up.
I didn't even think of that.
It's so fucked up.
Like they fully. Danny.
And like they were like, I loved the homage, I
dead?
guess, but like they were like, are we dead?
Are
Like
we
what
dead?
is going on? I love the homage of like the people at the carnival that were wearing the costumes of like the get out of my house with the devil husband and the woman in the curlers, the wife in the curlers.
You know who that is?
Who?
The woman is Penny Marshall, the director who directed A League of Their Own.
Oh, that's cool. That's really cool. But
I just found that out.
why would oh my God, I might start tearing up because I'm like, when I get mad, I cry. Why would two people that lived in Salem dress up as two people who lived in Salem in 1993? Two people, you know, the people who are dressed up as the devil and the woman in curlers?
In the original.
They're at the carnival. There's people dressed up like them at the carnival.
Oh, probably just for like a little Easter egg.
It doesn't matter.
No, I know.
Because the insinuation, because between that and the gays watching that scene,
Yeah, too much.
the insinuation is
That's them.
that no, isn't that it's them. It's that imagine 25 years from now, Beyza, someone dresses up like us for Halloween. How would they know us?
Fear queers.
Oh my God, I hate it. I hate it. Do you know what I'm saying, though? It's like it means that two people in Salem were aware of a random house in Salem on one random Halloween, and they dressed up in these random outfits and decided to dress up like them.
It's kind of camp.
And
Sorry.
the multiverse is broken.
The multiverse is madness.
Do you get why that's fucked up? I'm not
No,
going
I
to move on
get
until
it.
we
I just
acknowledge
genuinely
that
like.
makes sense.
I
Don't
get it.
care.
I cannot talk about this anymore. I have to be. That's why. I just like there's too much.
God. I couldn't agree more. Let's wrap it. I'm over it. Fuck this movie. If you liked it, love it. Oh, I meant this. I meant fuck this movie, but love you. Watch the movie, love the movie. We love it.
I can't give this Kiki Mamas.
Oh, I gave it 1.5 stars.
I didn't,
But it doesn't deserve one Kiki Mama.
I don't think I put like a star
You didn't.
on it.
I noticed it. It made me sad.
I know it. I don't know. It was fun to talk about it though.
Oh my God.
I feel better.
I feel better and I feel validated. So thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually like the movie.
You know what? That's my favorite movie.
Cut all that other stuff.
Yeah, the book Sweating really made up for the, breaking of the world.
And the tear. That was really cute.
Oh my God, the book. I just want to buy a book now.
We should
not
get
buy,
one.
adopt.
Adopt, don't shop. Anything else?
No.
Great. Let me read the outro. Thank you
Now that we're on video, people can really see us do
God
this
damn
now.
it, so embarrassing. Yes, I still have not remembered this a year later. Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start it. Hey, thanks. Well, first and foremost,
Hey.
okay, off script. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Like the video if you like the video. Leave a comment. Let us know what you think of the movie. Subscribe, hit the bell. And thank you for listening to Fear Queers. We hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to keep up with us through our Instagram at LGBTQVHS and Twitter at FearQueersPod. You could also email us at fearqueers@gmail.com with any questions, comments, and movie TV suggestions, or if you just want to kiki ma. And you know what? We welcome Kiki Mamas. We welcome a Kiki about HB2.
Please let us know what you think.
Are we
insane? Did you say that too?
No, and that wasn't. I did say it, and it wasn't scripted.
Oh. Scripted. My notes.
Also, please feel free to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Helps the show. It takes a few moments to do.
And now you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can slay with us and comment and be nice to us because we're really fragile emotionally.
As you can tell, because a children's movie has wrecked our Halloween.
I'm sweating.
I know. I literally like wet.
Yeah, I'm wet.
Wet pits.
Anyway, I will see you next time. And
until then, gay frights.
I put a
Someone I get you one way. I'll be next week. Come on it. Would have been great if that was actually a spell that was relevant.
Okay, bye.
Be afraid. Be very afraid. Now available on video cassette and select DVD. They'll leave you screaming for more.